This is Red Dog Terrain. Welcome back to the shed. Today we're building a circle jig. I've seen several YouTubers use circular jigs that they bought from Shifting Lands, and I've seen a few people make ones themselves. I went with the second option. I greatly use a video put out by Choose Your Own Path, link in the description. I started with a simple clipboard and removed the clip part. Next, I took a dowel thin enough to fit in the channel of my Proxxon. I think it was 1/8 of an inch, maybe. I cut it to the length of the shorter side of the clipboard and hot glued it in place. Running parallel to the dowel, I drew a center line and then two more lines 1/2 inch out on either side. I hammered in a small nail, but would later have to move it back. By the way, this hammer is one of my favorite tools in my shed. It's my grandfather's old hammer. It's even older than I am. With my Dremel, I cut along the outer lines and then across. This is when I realized I had the nail in the wrong place. But since I didn't have any measurements yet on the board, I could simply move it back 1/2 inch. While I have a moment, let me thank everyone who likes, subscribes, and watches the video. Thanks for commenting as well. I put 1/2 inch marks, knowing that when the circle's cut, it will be an actual inch. So if the nail is 1.5 inches away from the wire, the circle it cuts will be 3 inches across. And that's it. You put the foam in the center of where you want it cut, turn on the machine, move the jig to the appropriate measurement, spin the foam around, and you have a perfect circle. Well, maybe not quite perfect. I still need some practice. Off camera, I painted it and then added some varnish to allow the foam to more easily spin. I guess I could end the video there. My entire plan was just to make a circle jig, but I decided to extend it and actually use the circle jig and show you something easy to make with it. I cut 1 inch XPS foam into circles that were 1 inch in diameter. I turned them sideways and cut them into thirds. Then I put them in my bucket of rocks and screws and jagged bits and shook the life out of them. I collected all the circular pieces and some 1 inch bases and glued them all together. They were very easy to knock over. A hard exhale would send them across my workbench, so I weighted them down with some screws in the bottom. A coat of the secret sauce starts the painting phase. This step protects the piece and adds shade if I miss anything while I am painting. It also means I can recklessly spray paint without fear of the foam being melted. I painted 2 stones on each column different color. I went with a bright orange and a color called Mountain Mist, knowing that the wash would tone them all down. I would like to thank the band IAH for letting me use their tunes during all of my videos. I did a dry brush of gray and then a dry brush of off-white to really bring out all the texture. This part toned down the bright colors, but not enough. It also gave the bricks some uniformity. Then I slathered everything in a black wash. I did an additional and final white dry brush, very light, just to bring out the edges. And then they were done. I used them the next night in an underground throne room, just to obscure line of sight and had places for the players to hide behind.